a little crazy there. I don't know if you caught that, but Browser's computer is haunting. Basically was just possessing me, and Browser's account got hacked, and I guess we're gonna have to do another fight scene with Reese. So, anyway, sorry about that.
Hey, Shady, sorry to interrupt you, but unfortunately, your sound is coming in muffled and quiet on the live stream itself.
Not much I can do about the muffler, but what I am
Sorry
gonna
to
do is at
interrupt,
least raise the
but
volume on my end of it.
unfortunately, your sound
So, give me
is
one
coming in
second.
quiet. All right. Also, just so you know, our audio is also coming in muffled, so I believe all the audio for this live will be muffled.
Damn. Okay.
All right.
Like I said, the muffle word we're unfortunately just gonna have to live with, but I raised your volumes all the way. How's it sounding now?
Hold on. I just gotta wait for the live to catch up. So while we wait for that to catch up, how are we all doing, everyone? Now that we're kind of hopefully figuring this out.
Give me one.
We're here.
Give me one second.
We are here, yeah. So I can hear Flair and Flair and myself fine. Shady, you're still a little quiet. Overall, though, the stream itself is pretty quiet. I have my computer at max volume, and I have the stream at max volume, and it's still relatively quiet.
Alright, then yeah, unfortunately, there's really not much I can do on that end.
All right.
Like,
Fantastic.
my shit is unfortunately at max. So, unfortunately, guys, we just got a few technical difficulties here. A little quiet doesn't mean unhearable, so I really hope you're able to at least like make out most of this. But we're gonna make do with what we got because spitters are quitters. So, anyway, though, to kind of get back to the story, so the last thing I remember we were talking about was the Oh Yeah song. So, Blair, that's on your resume?
Yes, that is on my resume. A
Oh.
lot of the work that we. So is that one that you had the Halo guy for your 10-year anniversary of your
Oh
channel.
my fucking god! I completely forgot about the Ultra Swag Time remix.
Yep. Ultra. Yep.
As the Halo guy for your 10-year anniversary of your
That
channel.
is on
Sorry.
my resume.
Real quick, I believe that's Willow. Willow, do you mind muting yourself? I can hear the live stream.
Way ahead of you.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So, Flair, you have the oh my god. So what is that? The furry song that we did recently. That's 4 songs we made
The
together.
furry song is not on my
including-
resume.
I would hope not, but like the furry song, that's 4 songs we made together, not including the soundtracks, of course.
Oh yeah, we've got more in the chamber. We got more in the chamber. I don't know how much you want to talk about those.
No.
We got one of those as a very special collaboration with one of my good friends. If you know, you know. But I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about that one.
Are you talking about the soundtrack or a song?
No, another song that you've been wanting to do since 2021.
Oh, the Economy soundtrack?
That one.
What collab was I gonna do with that?
I'm gonna privately message you that one because I don't want to spoil that for the viewers. That's a surprise.
Yeah.
That was. I messaged that to you on Messenger. You'll see it on your phone.
Oh,
you will.
Hold on, I just got that. I didn't realize we were gonna go with that guy just because like.
You wanted to. We just gotta pay him.
I think that's why we didn't do it years ago, if I'm being honest. But yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to eventually get back to making music. And hopefully just doing a few more songs whenever I get around to doing it. Unfortunately, being 27 now is killer.
Hey, I'm 30, man. I'm 30.
I know, but I'm just talking about life in general. And I'm getting off topic. But point being is, we got more songs that we're bringing along the way, and now you're on the soundtracks for Xanabra. So before I ask you about your experience with that, I'm going to whoever's playing music. Do you mind like not being so loud? But what's it called? Now I'm gonna pivot over to Willow.
Wait, can you hear that?
Yes, I can hear
That's
that.
my guitar.
Awesome. Do you mind not turning
Willow
the
couldn't
loudspeaker?
hear it.
Just
Yes,
like
I will mute it.
yeah.
I will mute it.
So
I didn't.
going back
We
over to
can
Willow though for
we
a
can
second.
hear it.
Mark,
What I meant, Flair, is that we can hear it. It just was not coming through fully, but it does come through in little bits. So it is there, just not in full. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, Shady, as you were.
no, you're chilling. So anyway, so now I'm gonna pivot over to Willow a little bit and ask you a little bit about the history. So obviously, Willow Seatoff, Xanabrow legend over here, literally the co-founder of the whole channel. You took a break for a few years, and I reached out. Talk to me about that experience. Talk to me about what that was like being reached out and coming back 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, it was wild. It was pretty crazy being on that hiatus that I was on. You know, a lot of things were going on from what caused me to leave to what caused me to come back. And it really was a bizarre feeling because, like I keep saying time and again, I never expected to actually return to Xanabrow. And the fact that, of all people to really make that return happen, Shady, for one, I'm ever always going to be grateful for that because coming back to Xanabrow was one of the best decisions I could have made. And two, just you were definitely such a go-getter of a person to really help make that happen. So that was definitely a huge part of it. But it really was a lot of mixed emotions, but overall a huge thrill and really energized me. It's part of why I went like heavily back into music. Like I did music in the past. It was a lot more casual, and I kind of stepped away from it for a while as I was on this break from Xanabrow. But being brought back into it and being asked to help with scoring several projects and stuff, scoring fights, scoring sad moments and things like that, to all the way to now scoring an entire movie, it really has brought in a new energy and new life to my music and stuff. And I'm very happy for that. I'm grateful for that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut in here a little bit and just gonna go a little bit more specific with the history because like what had happened was is that around I believe May of 2024, Reese showed me unknown not unknown Summer Brotherhood, or the original Brotherhood chapter 1 through 3, and then I saw it.
Right.
I had like my own feelings about it. It was interesting to kind of see like how that show progressed and whatever, and how much history came from that, and how much of things repeated on later with the stuff that Brower did. But what I always thought was really cool, again, was just how I guess I was always fascinated by Luigi Chronicles. I'm not gonna go too deep into this just because like we're talking about music, but like I was always so fascinated by Luigi Chronicles, and I hate it when people never get an opportunity to tell their story that they wanted to do. Obviously, we
Yeah.
can talk about it now. Brotherhood Chapter 4 is now confirmed and it's happening, and we're shooting it later this year. But like I think that I think that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to bring you back because I always felt like your journey was just simply not done. And now with the biggest project that you've done prior, or like the biggest project you did was BVL9, so much so that you even scored a piece of music for that. Talk to me about coming back for that project and what that meant to you.
Honestly, it like I said, all coming back really brought a new energy to me. It really like kind of revitalized me. That period of time just before I was brought back, I was admittedly in a very deep depression, and it is my return to Xanabrow, being brought back into that overall, really helped lift me out of that. Getting to film again, getting to be on set with people who I genuinely consider to be family at this point, it really helped revitalize things and bring in that energy. And it was wild being asked to not only come back for that, but to also have Reese approach me and say, hey, you've only just come back like for a few months at this point, and you've maybe done a couple songs for some projects we've done. Do you want to do this epic battle music for this scene with your character and these other characters? Do you want to do this epic like finale music for this fight that I've written and created for this fan project that I made for this thing that you've done years ago? To say that I was honored is an understatement. And I was honestly, admittedly afraid that I would not be able to deliver because not only was this like the finale to a project of someone that admires something that I helped create, but this was also like the finale to something that I helped create. And I didn't know if I would be able to, much like with my overall return, I didn't know if I'd be able to bring myself back to the point of where I felt like we were with Xanabrow. And like, I didn't know if I'd be able to step back into that position. But I feel like now that I'm here a few years later, I feel like I have definitely stepped back into that and then some. I kind of, not to toot my own horn, but I do feel like I've really grown a lot since then. And yeah, it BVL9, doing the music for that, doing the music for Luigi Brothers Shadow, a lot of that has really contributed into just giving that momentum to me and giving me that passion that I was lacking for years, essentially.
So that's actually where I'm gonna dive in next. There, Luigi Brothers Shadow. That film, by the way, comes out in October. It's only 2 years old, which is wild for me to think about. But like, talk to me a little bit about like being asked to do that project because you've done scores for everybody else, but I feel like with me, it's always going to be a little bit more complicated because of how big these projects are. So doing the finale song and then the post credit scene for Luigi Brother Shadow, what was that for you? What did that mean to you? Like, how did you? What was your thought process going into that? And even more interestingly than that, what would you do differently today with the exact same like scene and everything? Would there even be a difference?
Honestly, Luigi Brothers Shadow, for like before I actually agreed to do the music, I almost despised the project itself, like because here I am being asked to come back into Xanabrow, and I'm basically making myself like refamiliarizing myself with okay, what has the crew done since I left, and what are they currently doing? What am I getting into? Lo and behold, I see an announcement for hey, we're doing this Luigi-centered project where Mario has died. And there's a lot of similar plot elements to to the Luigi Chronicles that I was hoping to do myself. I honestly thought for a while these people just took my idea and did it themselves and said, hey, it didn't happen. Let's make it happen, despite this person not being involved. Obviously, that is not the case, of course. But that was genuinely how how I had seen it at first when I was brought back in, and I didn't really want to do much with that project because I thought that things were being, I thought I had been done dirty essentially. Obviously, it's not the case. It only just so happened that that was the story that they decided to tell. There are parallels, sure, but it really was just coincidence that that's the kind of story that they were telling. And I find it quite funny that we have those parallels because they say history repeats. In a way, that's showing itself repeating. It's not to say that it was a copy. What I mean, though, this is a long, long way of saying I had a period in time where I had to reconcile with the idea that some ideas I had come up with may have been recycled and reused in such a way to benefit the channel. And I also had to reconcile with the fact that, hey, things in this channel have changed and grown since I have been gone. You know what? Let's take that energy and let's put it into some of this music. So after finally discussing with Shady about the project and sharing with him those grievances I had and him clearing things up for me after getting a much better understanding of it and actually growing an appreciation for the story and the work that he and Bobby and everyone put into that project at that point, I was actually able to really approach it with a more level head, with a more clear mindset. And I said, okay, bet. I'm not going to do this just say, hey, you're putting in this effort, so can I, and let me show you that I can do that. I wanted to make it special. I wanted to show and prove not only to everyone in the team, but to myself that I can reach that level that everyone else was already giving. Essentially to say, you brought me back, so let me prove myself that I'm worth you bringing me back. It's Luigi Brother Shadow was my way to basically redeem myself in my own eyes, essentially. And I do feel like I did, because after that, we only just took off and we did project after project after project. But that really was the one project I felt like I had to nail those 2 songs for it, because if I didn't, I feel like I would have essentially failed myself at what I was trying to do. I would not have been able to slot myself back into that position of Xanabrow. Yeah, it really was that important to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to ramble.
No,
I
no,
just
no, you're fine.
it was
glad
just
you're
yeah,
explaining
it was just a really passionate thing for me.
Here's the thing though, like, and this is why, because in my opinion, personally, my favorite track that I can talk about publicly of yours is the ending track to Luigi Brother Shadow right before the end credits hit, right? That's personally my
Yeah.
favorite. That, like, the calm, the soothingness, the kind of the what's the word here? The not dread, but like the sorrowness of the whole thing right before the
Mhm.
high of everything else. It was awesome to me. But I will talk about. But now that I'm done talking about Luigi Brother Shadow, it's time to move on to, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but your very first collaboration on the channel, music-wise, with Flair. So this is where you
Yeah.
both are gonna kind of talk in. I brought on Flair. I want to say moderately a quarter of the way through. When it came to what's it called? When it came to sorry, I lost my train of thought here. By the way, real quick, Willow, are you able to hear me like on the stream?
Like I said, on the stream you are
Yeah.
quiet. Flair and I are a little bit louder than you, and
Yeah, no,
unfortunately there are some visual glitches.
Yeah, I mean, I'll live with the visual
But
glitches because Brad
yeah.
keeps texting in the
Also,
chat like saying
I
like
do
what's it called,
apologize.
that it's the microphone.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, even when I
Yeah.
talk like I'm using different headphones because like these just simply were not working. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that he wasn't spamming the chat like without knowing the context and why I'm wearing even different headphones and everything. And look at me, I'm glitching again. Oh.
Yeah, no, we're just dealing with some fun little glitches here and there. Honestly, it's so far it's better than it was before.
Yeah.
It's working, but
Good.
yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to live with it a little bit. But like, what's it called? I kind of to go back to it though. So let's talk a little bit about your collaboration with Flair. Talk to me about what it was like getting into the habit of having to work with other people, and what was it like with Flair specifically? And Flair, what was your opinion of Willow? So whoever wants to go first, just talk about each other.
Yeah. I mean, well, if I may open up first. So, this collaboration, I was a little hesitant because I hadn't worked with someone before on my own music, and I hadn't really collaborated with someone like that. But I was also excited because this was now the second fight song, the fight scene that I would have written for. The first one being Mario and Luigi versus Bowser. I did the fight scene, the fight music for that, and that was a lot of fun to write for. But of course, that was probably one of the things that took the longest, because even up until just the release of the Smash remaster, we were still making minor adjustments to that score. But that was the first time I did a fight scene music, and that was just all on my own, fun stuff. But bringing Flair in, meeting Flair, meeting another musician, collaborating our ideas, getting his perspectives and his ideas, and also being able to work with live recorded music, like his guitar work, it just elevates things. It just elevates things, to say the least. Like, I've been for the longest time working with strictly digital music and digital audio. So being able to work with live recorded instruments and production was just so cool. And it was such a such a cool experience. I learned so much from that because of how you have to balance things, how you have to mix things, how you have to adjust levels and stuff, because it's a live instrument. You can't just adjust how it sounds. It's going to sound how it sounds. Yeah, no, working with Flair really opened me up in like my comfort level of things and really showed me a lot of new things. And Flair was a huge, huge part of that. He really was a huge element to helping me learn so much as far as music production. But enough about my end on that. Flair, let's hear from you.
So here's my here's how it felt for me. And people who've known me for a long time or listened to music that I've worked on, whether it be production or in bands I've been in or my solo music, I am no stranger to collaboration. And I have also been on the brunt end. Shady told me to watch my language on this, but I've been on the back end, the rear end of some pretty nasty but much needed constructive criticism for years and years and years. I've been making music since I was 15, right? So half of my life I've been working on music. More than half. I turned 31 in April, so but anyway, I've been working on music for a long time. I've learned not just through Full Sail, but also through like life experience. Hey, certain things are supposed to sound a certain way, and being able to work with Willow, who Willow has much more of a history with actual like film scores, whereas my expertise is usually like commercial music, right? So getting to take my knowledge and cross reference it with Willow's knowledge to create something that's truly magnificent, but also the word that Shady likes the most, and Brower likes this word too, marketable. You know, creating something that can sound good regardless, like if you're just watching the film on a YouTube playlist, or if you're like just casually listening or it comes on an autoplay, you don't have to adjust the volume on your YouTube. You don't have to adjust your speaker settings. And we were able to share our knowledge with each other. You know, Willow tells me what Willow needs, and I'm like, okay, I can get you that guitar, I can get you that chord. It's not a typical chord, but I can play that chord. But when I send it to you, I'm going to send you a few different amp options. I've got a live amp, I got a Marshall amp, I got all these pedals, but I also have these amp sims, right? I let Willow pick what Willow likes. I'm like, hey, these are guitars. This is a live instrument, a live guitar. You're going to want to low pass this at about 100 hertz, just so that way your low end instruments are going to really cut through, because that's what's going to make this shine, right? And we just have all these conversations like this. Like, we talk about the ear candy that we throw in there. I'm pretty sure there's a percussion piece in that one, I forget which track or where it was, but there's a percussion piece that I sent Willow, and I'm pretty sure one of those is me opening a can. I think it was a can of Baja Blast Zero. I just opened it, recorded it into a mic, and I just threw a bunch of distortion on it. I pitch corrected it. I did some reverb on it and sent it to Willow. Willow turned it into some magic. Like,
Yeah,
those
no,
are the
that's sorry. Yeah.
like we've been doing, like, that's kind of what you're hearing. Yeah, you're hearing your typical like orchestral score, but we're also adding in these ear candy elements, the sound design. You know, we're playing with reverb, we're playing with guitar tones. and it's just a really good opportunity and experience to just share my knowledge and gain knowledge back, because that's
Yeah.
what all of this is always about. Like at the end of the day, all of us, we just want to expand what we know and embrace what we don't.
Yeah.
And I feel
And
like that is the best way to describe the collaboration between me
to,
and Willow, as well as the other session musicians that Shady is bringing along for the ride here and there.
yeah, no, to build on what Flair has said, and sorry if you're going to say something shady, but um, yeah, going from working solo to working with someone else on a project, I now at this point almost prefer to work with people, with other musicians on things. Like, yeah, I still do make music on my own in my off time, and I'm still doing work for the channel that is like just solo music work. But I have come to definitely prefer the collaboration process because of how much more can be done. It's not to say that you can't do a lot with just one musician. I mean, obviously, you can definitely do a lot if you're just one musician and you know what you're doing. But when you have that collaboration, you get so many different ideas and perspectives and layers of knowledge and nuance that you otherwise would have missed if you weren't collaborating with someone else. And part of me as a musician now, when I'm collaborating, I am very, very open and flexible with what I do and what I ask of musicians I work with. I am not like, hey, I need you to do this thing. I need it to be done exactly like this. It has to fit like this. No, I am like, hey, here's the thing. I want you to do something here, kind of figure it out, see what works for you, do something that is comfortable for you to do, but something that you think works, something that sounds like this. Go with the vibe. If it sounds good to you, it'll sound good in the mix. That's This is a whole collaboration thing. It's not just me telling you what I need, but me asking you, I need some musical talent here that I myself can't otherwise provide. Give me some talent. It's all a team effort. It really is. Every
Yeah.
single time I'm working on collaboration, especially this most recent project we're working on. This has been a huge collaborative effort with so many musicians at this point.
Now, and I'm glad you brought that up too, because that brings us to Fraternitas, our most recent track that we're currently working on, which isn't even a track; it's a full-on soundtrack that spans 40 plus minutes of original composition. So talk to me
We're
about like
scoring
all of
entire
that.
movie.
So talk about all of that, and more importantly than that, please give a shout out to everyone who's contributing to the track, because this is by far the biggest soundtrack we have worked on to date.
Absolutely. First from the chat, Abdullah Sharif says, Willow the best ever. Thank you. And Brower is asking, where is the Pirates of the Caribbean music, Willow? We are not using that music. This isn't 2012. But yeah,
I
Fraternitas
could
is,
I could pick up my guitar. I can play it.
No,
Dun
oh
dun
my
dun dun
gosh.
dun
we're
dun
good.
dun
We're
dun
good.
dun dun dun.
But yeah, no, Fraternitas is definitely the most complex project to date that I at least have worked on for the Zanbrow channel and for music in general. This is the most complex thing that I have done. It is, like Shady said, a full score for a 40-ish, 45-ish long film. Before this, I was just doing 10-minute fight scene, 20-minute fight scene, 5-6 minute video thing. That was it. That 20-minute fight scene, mind you, took me a good 5-6 months to get done with Flair. We spent so long to get that. We spent so much time on that, but we got it done. To say that this is far more complex than even that project was is an understatement. We have so many more people working on this in the back end, like so many people working on this in so many areas. We've brought on a lot of people. We've had people offer us some work and then leave for other reasons, but they've nonetheless contributed. We've had people come in for small little things here and there. We have people actively doing more involved things. I'm not necessarily getting into the specifics because I don't want to announce exactly who is working on the project until it's finished because we're still actively working on things. We're still changing things. We don't know exactly who is going to be in this final list of musicians. We keep adding people in, it seems like. Like at this point we have a band. We have a full-on proper band. But yeah, it really has been a massive collaborative effort between myself, Flair, and all of these other musicians. Flair especially has not only has he been helping with the score for this project, but he has been leading the production for a specific song for this project, and he's been doing a lot of work on that end. It's overall, this entire Fraternitas thing has been truly a tremendous effort on everyone's part, and I am so, so excited for everyone to see Fraternitas and for y'all to hear the score. I really am.
You know what? Obviously, I'm also just testing my audio real quick here for a second, so just bear with me a second. I'm just gonna keep talking. Mindlessly, no one else talk for a second. Just give me a moment. Just gonna be talking just for a moment. La 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 la. Just talking. Just presenting an audio level. Okay, so you can hear me. Cool. All right. So what I was gonna say next is what's it called? But I'm not gonna announce specific people just yet. What I will say is it is impressive to me how many of those musicians just so happen to live in Michigan. Like, I don't know what it is about Michigan specifically that just produce musicians, but oh my fucking god.
Detroit,
It's freezing.
baby!
It's freezing for half of the year, and we don't like freezing, so we're all pissed. So
Yeah,
we have to take it out on something.
emotions tend to create music.
Emotions create
Yeah.
music, and I mean, the more depressing the environment, I guess, the better the music. Like Michael Jackson's from Indiana. But what I will say though, now moving on to it though, so how would you we heard Willow talk about the Fraternitas score, but Flair, I haven't heard you talk much about like Fraternitas the score or our song that we have coming out for it because guys, me and Flair
We
are
got a
back at
theme
it
song.
again. We're back at it again.
We got a theme song. We got a very highly requested guest vocalist, but I'm gonna keep that under wraps for the time being. But
It's me. Taboo, the villain, was a very bad villain.
hey, Alexa, play the Jerry the Snowman song. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Oh no.
No.
Anyway, so the theme song, we got a little bit of a treat for you guys. It is in part an Eternal Invasion song. You're gonna get to hear, if you like Chris's screams, you're gonna get to hear those. But we got someone very, very, very requested by a lot of our community for the clean vocals, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. The song is basically done. I am waiting on Shady to send me something, and me and him are going to talk about that in private. But it is basically done. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. It is some of my best production work to date. It is some of my best guitar work to date, and I don't want to spoil too much. We had Roxanne. I will shout out Roxanne because she has been a blessing. She's going to be. I need her to send me something too, but she's also helped a lot with the score. And we've got I don't want to throw too many names down, but we've had a lot of things come up that have really benefit everything in this project, both with the score and the theme song. And I do want to say, with the theme song especially, right? I feel
Hey,
like
real quick, sorry to interrupt. Shady, you want to just turn off your webcam
I
and
already
just
did.
maybe
Yeah.
put up an image of
I already
Xanabrow or
did.
something?
I already did. Just let Fire talk.
okay, so back to Fraternitas, the song. I'm not gonna spoil what the final name of the song is, because one, I don't know it. Shady knows it. We got that under lock and key. We're not having any leaks here, okay?
Oh wait, you don't
Um,
know the name of the song?
well, you were telling me you were thinking about it. I don't remember if we finalized that or not, but
Ah, yes. Fraternitas, from the movie Fraternitas, about the villain Fraternitas taking
Well,
place in Fraternitas during Fraternitas.
well, actually, something that I'll give you, Flair, is if you want, how
just
about you announce?
if you have it finalized, message it
Well,
to me
yeah.
privately. We're not gonna.
Listen, because this is what I was gonna say.
Oh, he did. You
Fuck.
did send it to me privately. Okay, I see
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So listen. Because what I was gonna say is, fuck it. If you want on this live stream, announce the name of the song.
Um. Okay, if you want me to, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got this song. It's "Become of Us." I'm not gonna share who's featured on it. I'm not gonna share anything else about the song, but this song is going to be amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Um, it is some of my best production work to date, some of my best mixing work to date. A lot has gone into it, like to the point where uh there was a there was one point where Shady and I are working on the song, and I had I had to take my girlfriend down to Detroit for a flight, and we caught a Red Wings game and got some food the before the flight. But in the hotel room that we stayed at, like we were like I was exchanging vocal and stem files with people that are involved with this song, and I was working on this. Like so much has gone into it, and I'm just there is soul and passion in this song that you I'm not saying you don't hear it in a lot of my music, but there's just another level here, and I am really looking forward for everyone to hear this. I'm really looking forward to sharing this with the world.
I know I'm definitely looking forward to it. I can vouch for Flair's quality of work and what he's done. I actually haven't really heard much of this song that they're producing. My focus for Fraternitas is the score. I have no hand in the theme song here, Become of Us, that they're working on. But I know based on the work that Flair has done with me in the collaborations we've done in the past, based on what he has offered for the score itself, based on what he has taught me in things like mixing and EQ balancing and all that stuff. Yeah, y'all are really in for a treat. This man knows what he's talking about. This man knows his music production. His band does some great work, and y'all are seriously going to be in for an epic treat with just this song, let alone the movie.
Yeah. No, like when I tell you, I didn't know what to think of that song when we first were producing it. I'm telling you right now, this song is my favorite song that me and Flair have ever produced, and I'm only more excited for like whatever else is gonna come of that. Um, and honestly, yeah, like we're even getting ready to shoot a music video for it. Come time next month. I'm really beyond excited for you guys to like hear this thing when it drops.
Yeah, no, honestly, I just can't. I can't wait for this movie to come out. It's definitely a huge passion, a huge labor of love from everyone involved, and it's taken longer than we had anticipated initially, but such are projects, they often do take a little bit longer than you plan, but it's all worth it. I just can't wait for everybody to see it because it's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shady, I'm curious. how you felt throughout all of these processes of like approaching Flair for music, approaching me for music, being part of these music production meetings and hearing us talk our music stuff while you just kind of sit there. Just overall, how have these music productions been going for you? How has it been for you?
So obviously, there's only so much I can contribute. I'm not a musician, so like whenever we're in these meetings, like I will admit, y'all ramble, but like I
Yeah.
am perfectly in tune with it because I'm an admirer of passion at the end of the day. Um, and I just thought that like, hey, can you guys speak for a second?
No,
Yo,
I can't speak.
There we go. Yeah. How come it's not picking up my audio? Hello, hello, hello.
that is
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, now suddenly your audio's gone out.
That's weird. Okay, give me 1 second. Hello,
Apologies, everyone on stream. Shady is
hello,
currently
hello,
trying to
hello.
adjust his audio.
Do me a favor. Someone go on the live stream. Make sure can you guys check if live you guys are able to hear me?
I currently have the live pulled up. I've actively got it pulled up. Hold on. So yeah, you are coming through. You're just very quiet, Shady.
All right, then I'm just gonna have to speak up. So what I will
If
say
there,
is that
I have a suggestion, Shady. If there is a microphone at all on that headset, wear the headset like with one headphone to your ear and the other one basically at your mouth where the microphone is.
I I am, but
Okay.
what's it called? But
Then yeah,
basically what I'm gonna
you gotta be
say
loud.
like regarding everything is it's been a process. It's been an absolute process, but like honestly, it's been beautiful. And like the thing that I can appreciate is that it's extremely collaborative too, because like I can't tell you how many times we'll be talking about music. I'll come up with some minor notes here and there, and we're able to just fine tune it. It's annoying. Like I want to make this so clear. It's such a painstaking process to kind of go back, realize that you want to cut something in a scene, and then having everyone needing to be having to tell everyone the heartbreaking news, like, oh shit, this needs to be retimed. But at the end of the day, through all that trial and effort and errors and whatever, we're able to make something beautiful out of it. So I'm very appreciative of that. I I do think that it is one of the cooler things that we were able to do in such a long time. And again, this Fraternitas track, when it eventually like drops, is easily going to be our best one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and dude, like and let's not even talk about Smash 2, which by the way, I'm gonna have an announcement about Smash 2 in a few days, so just look out for that. But yes, dude, all I can say is we got some crazy things coming, and Fraternitas is just the beginning. After that, once we tackle, because I'll say this too, these guys are coming back for the Smash 2 soundtrack. I'm gonna be curious to see like where they take that, where that goes. What's gonna be the deal there? Like what you guys come up with then, because
Yeah.
there's themes that we've talked about privately.
I'm definitely curious and fascinated with how we take the Smash 2 soundtrack, considering how contrasting and how different the Fraternitas soundtrack is going to be
Willa, just
compared
letting
to
you know,
previous
I
music
can
that
hear
I
the
have done.
live stream in the background.
I know, I just lowered it.
Okay, okay.
But compared to how the soundtrack and the music that I've done, that Flair and I have worked on in the past for Xanabrow, Fraternitas really is in a totally different direction. It's got a totally different vibe and sound to it than previous music. So going from Fraternitas, that huge contrast, back to, I guess, a bit more of a traditional kind of sound, that is definitely going to be interesting because I'm just wondering how we're going to take what we've learned from Fraternitas and apply it to there and how it's going to affect it. I'm really fascinated with that concept. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with it too. What do you think is going to be different with that, considering going from what is basically a horror movie to something a little bit more
I
like traditional?
I I think we may end up going. I think that we're going to see the pendulum swing in a full opposite direction. I feel like if anything, we may end up embracing a lot more of the like not so scary. like not like so scary or constricting, like lots of dissonance. I think we're going to kind of go into a lot more of a brighter, epic, heroic kind of sound almost. Not, I obviously don't know exactly how the music's going to go because we haven't even begun production on that end yet. But I do feel like, considering how we've taken Fraternitas and how far we've leaned into this kind of dark, foreboding kind of dissonance, I feel like we're gonna open things back up and like really see a lot more bright sounding kind of heroic sound to it.
Yeah. Oh my god! And again, there's like this one scene specifically. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but there's this one scene specifically that happens, and that you guys are doing the soundtrack for, and oh my god, you guys are just in for a fucking treat.
Hey Shady, you're gonna want to speak up a little bit louder. You're still coming in very quiet, unfortunately.
Point being, there's a scene that happens in Snatch 2 that you guys are gonna score, and it's gonna come in. It's gonna be super fucking sick.
Okay. Very good.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm trying to balance the stream audio as well as listen to you. So it does mean, unfortunately, because Flair and I's audio are louder than yours, when I'm trying to listen to you, I come in very loudly, so it does pick up on Discord. And yeah, but it's just that I can barely hear you.
No, I understand. I
Oh,
understand.
technical
I just gotta
difficulties.
speak louder, but yeah, no, guys, just a lot of cool things are coming their way, and man, I don't even know where to begin with half of them. All I can really say is it's
Yeah.
it's been a journey. It's been an absolute fucking ride, and I don't know. Like, what would you say? Honestly, let me ask you guys this though. What would you say it was one of the biggest like learning curves you guys had to do going into, or like not learning curves, excuse me. What was some of the biggest takeaways you've done doing these soundtracks? What do you hope to improve on in the future, and how does that apply to your own personal projects?
Well, I feel like I've done quite a bit of talking. Flair, why don't you give a go at this?
I feel like this has definitely improved my communication skills. I feel like things I can do better are like I feel like I could just work on becoming more available because that was one of our biggest hurdles in this project. The biggest hurdle, in my opinion, is that we had this going on, and I also had a lot of other things going on. Uh, a frequent thing that I hear, not just from Shady, but from other people in my life, is that I have this tendency to take on a lot of projects, and because I take on so much, or I have, whenever it comes time where is that we had this going on, and sorry, I hear
Oh,
something.
that was my bad. I was playing the live stream. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So like, an issue that I have is that, or that Shady has made me aware of, and then people at work have made me aware of, people in my bands have made me aware of, is that I'll take on a lot of projects or a lot of tasks, and when it comes time to deliver, because I focused so much on a handful of tasks, or when I need to pick up the slack for somebody else, it becomes a problem because now I'm falling behind on the things that need to be done primarily. And I feel like um, working on Fraternitas has really, really shown me how bad that has been for me, and it's helped me. I've I'm starting to learn ways that I can navigate around that. And Fraternitas has been a project that has really helped me in that direction.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I feel like that's the biggest thing that has hampered it on my end of things. It's just that like we have a lot of situations where Willow's available on Wednesdays, but I'm not available on Wednesdays. Oh, well, I'm available on Thursdays and Mondays. Well, a lot of Mondays and Thursdays Willow's not available. So it's really just trying to figure out, okay, when can we all get on a call? When can we talk about, hey, this and this need to be done. This needs to be done.
Or
And
we all just get so busy and burnt out we collectively all just forget about a meeting.
that's another thing is like I've had like I've been navigating like, and I'm not trying to sell like a sap story or like try to get anybody's pity, and I'm not trying to like sound like I'm trying to impress people either when I say this, but working on Fraternitas, I've worked on Fraternitas simultaneously with finishing out a project for Eternal Invasion that we're not ready to announce yet, but we will soon. But both of those things musically, it's a combination of working on both of those, plus I'm working on stuff at work, plus I've had a bunch of real life things going on, right? I don't want to share too much of the family and home drama going on, but there was a lot of it going on during the production of Fraternitas, and it really took a toll. So just finding the time and effort to just push through that and encourage others to push through it has been like it's rewarding, but at the same time, like, you know, we had to deal with a lot of things. Like we started the production for Fraternitas during an ice storm, right? There was an ice storm last year that severely affected a lot of Michigan, and I live in
God, I
Alpena.
remember the storm.
It it hurt us the most, right? Like us and the Gaylord area, like we got hit pretty hard to the point where like if I know hurricanes can't normally hit Michigan, but you wouldn't believe me if you drove through Alpena after the ice storm.
Yeah, no, thanks to a magical thing called the lake effect, we get some wild weather here in Michigan, whether it's on the west coast by the pond or even on the east coast by Detroit. The weather here is wild.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad, and we started Fraternitas during that, and we just had, you know, we had roadblocks, potholes, hiccups. Uh, I think in the time that from the start of Fraternitas to now, I think I've been in the emergency room like 8 or 9 different times.
Jesus, yeah.
Like I'm not trying to give a pity story or a sappy like or trying to sound like I'm impressing anybody, but like, you know, we had a lot of real world problems that came up just in the production of Fraternitas, and these were all outside of everybody's control.
And
Like,
and you know that is a good talking point, honestly, and how we've all handled not the productions themselves, but all these external outside factors around the productions. Because just like we've been dealing with our own little personal things here and there, that's just a regular thing in the industry in general and in creating stuff like this. You're always going to find things in life that will kind of get in the way of certain projects or impede you in a certain way. And how you approach it and get around it or get through it and how you come out in the end really is like up to like how how you can handle things. And like I'd say everyone that's been involved, especially in Fraternitas, with all that has been thrown at us, and we've been thrown a lot of things our way during this production. We've
oh yeah,
still going through it strong. We still are persevering, and we are getting this thing done, and it is getting done beautifully. And I really am proud of everyone that's been working in this
I'm
involved.
not
Like
gonna
everyone, yeah.
I'm not gonna say names because we're not trying to like announce the full cast until it's finished. But
Yeah.
we have a guy who got arrested during the production.
and yet still one of the like, even with all that drama, that musician has still contributed some fantastic work, and we still respect their work and very much, because everyone involved has done great, truly great.
Oh
Everyone
yeah.
that has contributed to this has gone above and beyond in their end respectively, and yeah, things happen. Unfortunately, life happens, but yeah, it just goes to show, despite all these little curveballs we've been thrown, we're still making this happen. We're still passionate about it, and we're still going through. We're having a blast with it the entire time. And yeah,
Yeah, no, dude, like
y'all
again, like
just gotta stay
I
dedicated, y'all.
yeah, no, we're doing our best here because Willow, I would say no matter what, right now we're at least at the halfway point with the soundtracks, right?
We are, I mean, as far as production goes, we're a little bit over the halfway point. I would say maybe around halfway done with production, but the score itself is probably about two-thirds of the way done at this point. Well, as far as overall length of what is written goes. Yeah, we're nearly halfway done with the score, probably. It's getting there. It has been a long process, and it's definitely been a longer and more arduous and harder process than the previous scores that we've done. But it is absolutely going to be worth it.
Oh, 100%, dude. Like, yeah, I am excited to finally wrap up this track and watch this fight from beginning to end. There
Yeah.
is so much I am waiting to talk about when it comes to Fraternity. Actually, so fairly recently, I guess I can talk about this on the live stream now.
Ooh.
Luigi versus Brian's Waluigi.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's going to be good. That is
Oh,
going to be good.
it's it's already a fire fight. I think we're at least one fourth of the way done with the VFX. They did have to take a pause on it because that VFX team has to go back and tackle Jerry the Snowman because of course Reese was too lazy to send off those VFX a week ago. But yeah, no. So we are waiting for that to be done because that death battle. Because you're still down to do that the small little score section for it, yeah?
Well, I mean, not to spoil anything, but yeah, I believe so.
Awesome. Yeah, no, no, no. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. I just would like to announce here that hey, Willow's coming back, and they are definitely cooking up something awesome.
Listen, Shady, at this point, you know that I am happily Xanabrow's go-to back pocket composer for if we need something done.
Mm, hell yeah. Honestly, I'm so fucking excited for any of those. I am. I wish we just. I know we can't really now, but we're definitely gonna do another one of these podcasts later on for the musicians because number one, it sucks that we still don't have visual, if I'm being quite frank. But two, and way more importantly than that, it goes beyond you and Flair, if I'm being real. There are other people, one of which I don't want to announce terrible. Well, I mean, one of you guys just said her name, so I guess I will. Roxanne is on this track, and she just recently put out a song. There's so many different perspectives that's on our soundtrack that I would love to give them a voice and a platform to talk. I would love to do another like podcast where everyone is here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I definitely would love to have some of our other musicians come on and talk at some point, because just as much as Flair and I have been running a lot of things and like in control of a lot of the process here, it's still been a huge collaborative effort, and a lot of these people have had massive like influence on individual parts of the score and individual parts of the music and stuff. It really would be awesome to hear their perspective on things too, because I know that they all have some really cool stories to tell as far as doing their music goes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. Like I can't wait. I cannot wait. And again, like I will say this: we are currently. It's not confirmed, but we are currently planning an event for Fraternitas. It's just a few things are currently like being rattled, but let's hopefully we would be able to announce something sooner rather than later. Just a lot of talking behind the scenes at the moment. But guys, I do feel like we are coming towards the end of the live stream here, so I would like to like leave the floor to you guys for a second. You guys have any questions for me just before I have everyone give their final thoughts towards the interview and last messages or whatever?
Yeah, Shady. When you finally retire from Xanderbrow, you think you're gonna ever call upon the Titov for some more music?
Oh, dude, 100%, 100%. Uh,
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
dude, like I'm gonna tell you this now. I'm after Smash 2, I'm done, right? And that's why I'm excited to finally what's it called? Get that film under wraps because Phase 2 has been taking maybe 2 years longer than it should have. So I'm finally excited to like put that chapter behind me. But yeah,
Y'all will basically have been doing this for a decade by the time Smash 2 comes out. Seriously, it's insane.
I hope not because a decade for me would be 2029.
Oh my god. No,
Yeah.
I guess what I mean is you've been doing YouTube for a decade basically at this point.
Oh, yeah, actually more than that. I've been doing YouTube since 2012. Next year will be my
Yeah.
15th anniversary.
It's that is wild that you started YouTube only just a couple years after Xanderbrow started, and here we are working together on stuff. That is insane.
It is. It 100% is, and I'm excited to see like where the future takes us. But I talked about retirement. Like I don't have one of the biggest films I've ever done in front of me, so I'll tackle it from there. But from yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when I when I say retirement, I'm just honestly talking about the NCU stuff. Like after Smash 2 is officially behind me, that's when I'm
Yeah.
gonna hopefully dive into more of an original career, like with my Captivia projects and whatever the case may be. But anyway, guys, I would like to sign off. So, Flair, same thing for you, real quick. Any last thoughts that you want to give just before we end this interview?
Yeah, just one thing I'd like to say to the viewers of this live stream. If you get a chance, please stream Eternal Invasion and Girl Gossip on any streaming platform. It helps out a lot, please. Especially, Girl Gossip has a song called "A Thousand Below" that Shady shot the music video for. It is one of my favorite projects I've ever been involved with. We also have songs "False Peace" and "Cute Toxic" that are also some of my favorite projects. And then Eternal Invasion, we just released In My Veins and Incarnations. We have another song coming out on the 24th of this month, and then we got another song coming out on the 24th of next month. So stay tuned for those.
Yeah, no, y'all definitely need to check out Eternal Invasion. If you are excited for any of the projects that we're working on here on Xanderbrow, if you're a fan of that fight music between Final Hand, Bowser, Mario, Luigi, and all for the Smash Gang, that huge epic fight score of like 20 minutes. If you liked any of that, you will absolutely adore what Eternal Invasion has and what their band does because they are some next level kind of like I don't want to say rock and roll. It's definitely more of like punk rock, but either way,
We play metalcore.
they're heavy stuff. They do heavy stuff. They're good. They're really good. You guys definitely
Eternal
gotta check them.
Invasion is metalcore, and Girl Gossip is swancore for fans of
Yeah,
bands like Dance Gavin Dance and Idola. And if you're into Dance Gavin Dance or Idola, listen to Girl Gossip. If you're into bands like The Bunny the Bear or Dead by April, check out Eternal Invasion.
Oh yeah. You know, y'all need to check out Flair and his bands. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. Unfortunately, I have no bands to plug, so if anything, while we're checking out musicians, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, Willow Titov, and just see we'll see what I've been doing. You know. Well, yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. Again, this has been an incredible journey to be on, and I'm happy to have read it with you guys. Thank you guys so much for giving us the time to talk about like just music and whatever the case may be. I'm really happy we were able to like talk just honestly about like music and whatever, and I'm really excited to see where this moves forward. So Willow, Flair, thank you guys for being some of the best that there is, the best fucking musicians on the channel, the best musicians on YouTube.
Hell
If you
yeah.
ask me, let's go. Fuck AI,
Hell
fuck all
yeah.
that shit.
Hey,
We
let's
ain't getting original
go.
like this. All right, but with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.
thank thank you, Shady. Thank you for everything. You are awesome.